Qué bueno que tengamos un feliz año y bueno, que lo empezamos muy bien con ganando la Copa del Mundo.
Te decía que Cecilia pensó mucho en Shuddha en ese momento, que estaría contento.
Cecilia was thinking about you,
When
that
you
you
won.
were very, yes.
Yeah. We were all very happy here. I was watching with Rocco and Emanuele and everybody. This was very nice. Yeah.
Él
So,
estuvo viéndolo con Rocco y Emanuel y con todos, y sí, estaban muy contentos.
and Radhika, my daughter, and it was wonderful. It was so wonderful because there was so much collective energy that was going in, into that ball. Yes.
Dice que fue maravilloso porque había una energía colectiva tan grande, tan magnífica que estaba...
Yeah. Well, they have that goal, and we have the supreme goal. These are these Mahatmas of Argentina were present here. All of us have the supreme goal of flawlessness that continues life after life until you get it right, you see.
La meta de los jugadores, bueno, ya la obtuvimos, pero nosotros, todos los que estamos aquí presentes, tenemos una meta de impecabilidad que va a continuar vida tras vida hasta que la alcancemos.
Yeah. And so, just like a soccer player, if he's the only one, or if there are only one or two players in this entire field, then he doesn't have much fun. He needs a whole bunch of people, on both sides to really enjoy the game and play the game. In the same way, we have a whole bunch of people, a whole team, including the ones who oppose us, you see, in our goal. They're all there. The people who, the files represent the team on the other side, and we have the goal only in mind of flawlessness, you see.
Los jugadores podrían estar en la cancha, 2 jugadores jugando, pero estarían solos si no estuviera la multitud que los apoya y los que son los que se oponen también a que ganen. De la misma forma, nosotros tenemos nuestros los que nos apoyan y también tenemos los opositores, que son los files que vienen, que representan a los opositores. Y nosotros tenemos que llegar a que nuestra meta sea llegar a la pureza.
Okay, so let us begin with the three mantra, and afterwards, Harman, I would want you to read the Navakalams in Spanish, okay? So first three mantra, who will sing the three mantra? Cecilia, you want to start with the three mantra?
Trimantra, empezamos con el trimantra y después Germán lee los 9 calams, por favor. Cecilia, ¿lo cantás vos, querés?
Sí. Namo Vitragai, Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayareyanam, Namo Vasayanam, Namo Loisavasahunam, Eso Pancha Namukaro, Savapavapanashano, Mangalanam Cha Savesim, Padaman Havai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Satchidanand. Namo Vitragai, Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayareyanam, Namo Vatsayanam, Namo Luisavasahunam, Eso Panchanamukaro, Savapavapanashano, Mangalanam cha savesim, Padaman havai mangalam. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Sachidanam. Namo Vitragai, Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayareyanam, Namo Vatsayanam, Namo Loesava Saunam. Eso Panchanamukaro, Savapavapanashano, Mangalanam cha savesim, Padaman havai mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Sachidanam, Jai Sachidanam, Jai Sachidanam, Jai Sachidanam.
Jai
Sí,
Sat.
Satchitana.
All right.
Yes.
Arman? Yes, Harman, please read.
Jai Sachidanam.
Yes.
Navkalamo, las 9 profundas intenciones internas. Oh Dada Bhagwan, para no hacer que alguien dañe, ni instigar a nadie a dañar el ego de ningún ser vivo, ni aún en lo más mínimo. Dame la absoluta energía para no dañar, ni en lo más mínimo, el ego de ningún ser vivo y para conducir mis pensamientos, mi habla y mis acciones de un modo que sea aceptable para todos. Oh Dada Bhagwan, dame la absoluta energía para no dañar, para no hacer que alguien dañe, ni instigar a nadie a dañar el fundamento de ninguna religión, ni aún en lo más mínimo. Dame la absoluta energía interna para no dañar, ni en lo más mínimo, el fundamento de ninguna religión y para conducir mis pensamientos, mi habla y mis acciones de un modo que sea aceptable para todos. Oh Dada Bhagwan, dame la absoluta energía interna para no criticar, ofender o faltarle el respeto a ningún predicador, monje, monja o líder religioso. Oh Dada Bhagwan, dame la absoluta energía para no sentir aversión, para no causar que alguien sienta o instigar a nadie a sentir aversión hacia ningún ser vivo, ni aún en lo más mínimo. Oh Dada Bhagwan, dame la absoluta energía para no hablarle a nadie de manera dura o hiriente, ni hacer que alguien lo haga, ni instigar a nadie a usar el lenguaje duro o hiriente hacia ningún ser vivo, ni aún en lo más mínimo. Si alguien utiliza un lenguaje duro o hiriente, dame la energía para responderle de manera suave y amable. Oh Dada Bhagwan, dame la absoluta energía para no sentir, causar que alguien sienta, ni instigar a nadie a sentir deseos, ni tener gestos sexuales, ni cometer, llevar a alguien a cometer, ni instigar a nadie a que cometa faltas sexuales o aquellas relacionadas con pensamientos sexuales hacia ningún ser vivo, ya sea masculino, femenino o de orientación bisexual. Dame la absoluta energía para mantenerme continuamente libre de todo impulso sexual. Oh Dada Bhagwan, dame la energía para no sentir excesiva tentación hacia ningún sabor en particular. Dame la energía absoluta para tomar los alimentos en un equilibrio de sabores. Oh Dada Bhagwan, dame la absoluta energía para no criticar, ofender o faltar el respeto, para no causar críticas, ofensas ni falta de respeto a nadie a que critique, ofenda o le falte respeto a ningún ser, ya sea que esté presente o ausente, vivo o muerto. Oh Dada Bhagwan, dame la absoluta energía para convertirme en un instrumento para la salvación del mundo. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Sachit.
Jai Sachidanand. That is a very good beginning for our 2023 year. And now let us begin with our ninth session of Purnatva, Purna, completion. And so the ninth session towards completely digesting, completely understanding this Akram Vignan of liberation.
Bueno, empezar con los 9 kalams para empezar el año, y ahora vamos a continuar con la sesión número 9 para completar el entendimiento del Akram Vignan, completo entendimiento del Akram Vignan, la ciencia de la liberación.
So, two new words come in here. You have heard them in Parayan. And they are these words of the qualities, you see, the qualities, these two words are very new because they apply to the science of elements, science of eternal elements.
En este parayam entraron, vamos a ver, escuchamos varias veces dos nuevas palabras que se aplican a la ciencia de los elementos eternos.
So before we begin this satsang, I think we covered that in the last time. The intrinsic quality, the inner quality, they are called Anvay Gun. The quality is part of the part of the element, and then there is another thing that arises which is not part of either the soul nor a part of the non-soul, the jad. And so it doesn't belong to the soul, nor does it belong to the Pudgal, the body complex. And when the two come together, come together, the proximity itself, Ama and Pudgal, the proximity itself produces a new quality which is neither of the Pudgal, neither of the body, nor is it of the Ama, and that is called a third or extra quality, which is called the ego, right? We all understand that now.
Terminamos en la última vez hablando de la intrínseca cualidad, ¿no? Que es parte del elemento. Y surge el ser que es del ser, que no es del ser ni es del pulgal, pero cuando se acercan, dada la proximidad del ser y del pudgal, surge una tercera cualidad extra que es el ego.
Yeah, you see, so in the last chapter, in the last section, we covered this, in the last satsang, that that extra quality that arises is not I. I am not this anger, pride, deceit, greed, or ego. I am not this ego. I am not this that arises, this tree that has arisen called Kasha is because of the ego. That I am not that, you see.
En la última sesión hemos cubierto esta tercera cualidad extra y que yo no soy este ego, ¿no? Y los calláis que surgen de este ego, la ira, el orgullo, la codicia y el engaño.
And Dada says that when these arise, anger, pride, deceit, greed, you just have to continue to see them only. See them. See them as a result on as an effect. Do not, and in the seeing process, you are not involved. In the seeing process, you are not mixed. Tanmayakar, and you just see them, and that, and that will take care of itself, you see.
Yes. Cuando surgen los calláis, solo continúa observándolos y obsérvalos como un resultado, como un efecto. Y en eso no estás involucrándote y entonces así se resuelve por sí mismo.
And the questioner says, but after they happen, Dada, I feel uneasy, I don't feel good. And Dada, she replies, who is not feeling good? It is Harman, it is Maritza who is not feeling good. Those are not happening to you. The feelings that happen after anger, pride, deceit, greed do not belong to you. You are pure, you see. So those effects also, if they happen, are not yours.
Luego le preguntan, le dicen a Dada luego, pero luego que suceden los calláis, yo no me siento bien. Y Dada le dice, ¿a quién le sucede esto? Esto le sucede a Germán, a Marixa, pero tú eres puro, a ti no te sucede esto.
Now, the next heading, in a new heading today, in the 9th session is, see the duality of right, wrong, you see. There are two ways in which we write right, wrong. Yes, we write the word right or good, and then or right and wrong. Wrong means bad, but actually the other uses this word dash here, right, wrong. You see, they are all right, wrong, you see. When you say right, wrong, they're immediately put in another compartment, right, wrong. You're not giving any more weight to the right or to the wrong. Right, wrong. They are duality. They are part of the relative world.
Yes. El próximo título es ver la dualidad, ¿no? La dualidad es correcto e incorrecto, o correcto como bueno y incorrecto como malo. Pero no le da peso, no le da más peso a ninguno de los dos, los pone como en el mismo lugar. Y esto es de lo relativo.
So the questioner asks, so, it is in continuation with the previous paragraph which we read last satsang. last year. So the questioner is saying, so Chandubai will have its effect for sure, no? And he gets the effects, and then he does pratikraman, and he comes back into Gnan. And the question, all right, and the questioner is saying, if the effect does not happen, then he will not remain aware, would he? Mm-hmm.
Entonces le preguntan, entonces Chandubai tendrá sus efectos, hace Praktikraman y vuelve al Nan. Pero si el efecto no sucede, entonces I lost the last
when the effect happens, you see, so now you see, in the previous satsang that I was talking about, it's all an effect. It's all an effect that is happening to Chandubai, File 1, Pudgal, you see, Prakriti, right? Not the self, right? And so now the questioner is saying, so the effect does happen to Chandubai, does it not? Because without the effect, how can he remain aware and awakened? The effect.
Yes. Yes. Entonces dice que Chandu tendrá su efecto, ¿no? Se practicará Vagnan. Pero si el efecto no sucediera, él no mantendría la conciencia, ¿no?
Yeah, he remains Jagruti, right? Because if the effect does not happen, if the effect did not happen, then it would be very difficult for him to really remain in Gnan or Amapura, right? That's the question.
Yes. Entonces, si el efecto no sucediera, sería difícil mantenerse en el Nan.
Yeah, to be in Gnan means, as you all know, to be in Gnan means to be in 5 Agnas, to be in Amapura, you see, to be awakened, you see, to be awakened. And Jagrut. So let us see what Dadashri says. So the question is, if there is no effect in the mind, speech, and body, regardless of good, bad, if there is no effect, then the Ama will not wake up, right? All right, that's the question, right?
Entonces dice, si no hubiese efectos y no pasara nada en la mente, el cuerpo y el habla, no podría mantener la conciencia, porque ¿qué es estar en el Nan? Estar en el Nan son las 5 agnas, el alma puro y la conciencia, Jagruti.
Yeah, and so Dadashri's answers. Dada says, no. Dadashri says there are a lot of people for whom the effect happens, all right? But there are a lot of people in the effective discharge do not have any effect. So that, they will not have any effect at all, no matter what happens, you see. There are some who do not get affected by what is happening, you see. So
Ya dicen, no. Hay personas que cuando los efectos les suceden, los efectos de descarga, no son afectados por lo que está sucediendo.
She says these are the people who are now ready. And this is the stock. He looks at all of these people and he says that these people are now ready. They are mature, quote unquote, mature in Akram Vignan. They will not, you see, they will not have any effect. They will not have any effect. All right?
Dada dice que hay personas que están listas y que están maduros en el Akram Vignan. Entonces, cuando se produce la descarga o vienen los efectos no están afectados, no se sienten afectados.
Yeah, see? So now, you and I know that there is everything from birth till death is an effect, right? In this life, everything is an effect. Everything that is happening in the mind, in the body, through the words, is an effect. And it's an effect for every soul, every human being in this world. It's an effect. And that effect is a result of cause in the last life, causes in the last life, effect in this life, and that is the cause and effect world of karma that you and I know about, right? This is the cause and effect. We know this fundamental fact now. We know it. We experience it.
Yes. Sabemos que desde que nacemos hasta que morimos, todo lo que sucede a través de la mente, el cuerpo y el habla es un efecto. Y ese efecto es la causa creada en una vida pasada. Entonces conocemos que causa y efecto es el karma.
Yes.
Es el karma y lo podemos
cause
lo
effect,
podemos
cause
ver. Yes, sí, podemos conocer esto de causa y efecto.
Yeah. But this effect word has to be understood, you see. Now, in Akram Vignan, that is in operation as Evaswama Pura and the five agnas, the effect also is not happening to me. You see, the effect is there. Effect is there from morning till evening and in the night, 24 hours a day. The effect is there, but the effect is not happening to me. You see, so no effect, even while there is effect, you see. There is an effect going on because the body by nature is effective, you see. You put sugar on the tongue in dark, he will immediately start sucking it, you see. It's effective.
El efecto debe ser entendido, ¿no? En el Akram, sabemos que somos alma pura y estamos en las 5 agnas. Y conocer, entender el efecto, ¿no? Que no me está pasando a mí. Eso está allí desde la mañana hasta la noche. De hecho, el cuerpo es un efecto y si te pones azúcar en la lengua vas a empezar a saborearlo o a comerlo y eso también es efecto.
and we continue. So this is very important. And you see, in a world which is extremely effective and continuously effective from birth till death, and in this body that you and I are, in the body of you are in the body of Luz, or you're in the body of Cecilia, I'm in the body of Shuddha, you see, there is continuous effect in discharge, but my nature, my state, my nature is such that I do not get affected. I do not get any effects. You see, so this is a very high level result in a Mahatma. You see, it's a very high level result in a Mahatma. And that is all where we are going.
Esto es tan importante, ¿no? Porque todo el tiempo estamos, están los efectos continuamente, y estamos en este cuerpo, en el cuerpo de Luz, en el cuerpo de Cecilia, en el cuerpo de Shuddha, y continuamente está descargando. Entonces, si mi naturaleza es tal que yo no soy afectado, y este es el nivel más elevado que podemos alcanzar como Mahatmas.
So then the questioner is asking, but if he does anger, if he does anger, you don't, it's a kind of a term in Gujarati. In Gujarati, you don't say, I became angry, you say, I did anger. So, but let's say, but if he becomes angry, Dada, questioner says, but if he becomes angry, Dada, then will he not have an effect later on?
Entonces pregunta ese, si sucede la ira, ¿no tendremos efectos luego?
So will it not have its effect? In other words, he is saying, it's a kind of a very loaded question. If you do anger, you see, then if I do anger, in other words, anger, the assumption is in order to become angry, you have to enter into the anger, right? If I become angry, that means I has shifted from Amapura to Shuddha. Now Shuddha is becoming angry, okay? But so then, so will that not have an effect, right? Dadashri says, later on, it will not have, if I became angry, say just now, 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, will there not be an effect of the anger?
Pregunta, bueno, ¿qué sucede si le preguntan si sucede la ira? ¿No tendremos efectos luego? Y Dada dice, si tú haces ira, no que entras o estás en ira o te vuelves la ira, porque entonces sales del alma pura, pero si la ira aparece, ¿cómo te vas a sentir 15 minutos después?
Yeah. Dada says, Dada's reply is very interesting. And he says, no, all of these people have come very near to the station. You walk and you come to the station where you are now free, you see. So he says, Dada is still talking about this very special Mahatmas of his who have matured, you see. He's talking about that category of Mahatma who do not get affected. Even if these people abuse or mistreat, or create a lot of kashais, you see. They don't get affected, you see.
Y Dada dice, cuando le preguntan lo de la ira, dice, no, todas estas personas están acercándose y están en la estación. Y cuando dice esto, está hablando de los mahatmas maduros, que pueden ser maltratados, no respetados, o puede pasarles cualquier cosa, pero ellos siguen estando sin ira.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, Dada has gone into, his focus is on advanced level Mahatmas like many of us here, you see. You know, we have been in satsang for many years, see. And we are absorbing this beauty of the words of Dada in every satsang. Not just listening, but holding those words, revering them, and absorbing them little by little, little by little. See?
Yes. Dada dice que Dada tiene puesto su foco en el avanzado nivel de los Mahatmas, y nosotros todos ya escuchando la palabra de Dada, tomándola, reverenciando la palabra de Dada y absorbiéndola.
Yeah. So now Dada says, now what is it that harasses? Now what is bothersome? Now what is bothersome, or what is the problem, you see? Dadashri says, what is bothersome? What is causing problems now? He's talking about advanced level Mahatmas. You see? He's talking about advanced level Mahatmas.
Entonces dice Dada, ¿qué es lo que molesta ahora? Y cuando hace esta pregunta, se está refiriendo a los Mahatmas de avanzado nivel.
And he's talking about this, he says, now what is it that really causes problems for you people? He says, that thing that you have read before, you see, you have read all of this before. It keeps on coming back to you. What? Reading which what? So then answer is other scriptures, whether for you it's Christian scriptures, for me it is Hindu or Jain scriptures, you see, or, for an Islamic person, the Quran, all of those, you keep remembering that, you see. You see, you keep remembering that other stuff that you have read before your Gnani Vidhi, it comes to you, you see.
Entonces habla y dice Dada, ¿y qué es lo que causa los problemas? Y es que es lo que has leído con anterioridad al Gnani Vidhi, y con esto se refiere a las escrituras del catolicismo, del hinduismo, jainismo, islamismo, y todo esto que has leído continúa viniendo a ti, lo recuerdas.
All the scriptures of the book, of all the scriptures of different religions are helpful for those people until they meet a Gnani Purush, you see, until they meet the enlightened one, a living enlightened one. Then you don't need the books. You don't need the books. You see, that is what the Dadashri is saying. But you see, you still keep on remembering all the hard studies that you did in different books. Oh, I read this, I read that, I read this in the Gita, I read this in the Bible, that you keep on remembering that. It's okay if it comes in your memory, but if it interferes with your progress in 5 agnas, then it is a problem, you see.
Yes.
Mm.
Dada dice que todas estas escrituras, ¿no? de las diferentes religiones ayudan, y ayudan hasta que encuentras un Gnani Purush, encuentras un ser iluminado vivo, y Dada dice, ya no necesitas más leer esos libros, pero estos recuerdos de todo lo que has leído, está bien si vienen a ti. No es bueno si interfieren en las 5 agnas.
Yes, and so that which has been read in the past keeps coming back in your memory, but it is Gneya. Dadashri says now it is Gneya. Gneya means object or object. And you are the subject. You are the Amapura. So, all you have to, what do you do with a Gnei? You can, somebody hands you a Bible, you can look at it and then keep it aside. Thank you, keep it aside. Somebody gives you the Gita, look at it, and then keep it, thank you, keep it aside. Somebody gives you a religious book of some other master, you look at it and then keep it aside. You don't get involved in it. Use it as a Gneya. Now it is all something to be seen and known only. That's all. There is nothing you can study from it which needs to be studied anymore, you see.
Yes. Por ejemplo, si todo lo que tiene que ver que estas lecturas del pasado es Gneya, que es el objeto, pero tú eres alma pura. Entonces, si te entregan una Biblia, la abres, la miras, gracias, y la guardas. Con la Biblia, con el Gita, con cualquier libro de un maestro religioso, míralo, pero no te involucres. Tú solo eres el conocedor y observador.
Yeah.
No te involucres.
Yeah, Dadashri says, it is the filled stock. It is the filled stock in this Prakriti. Some Mahatma will come with a lot of Vedantic knowledge. Some will come with a lot of Jain knowledge. Another will come with biblical knowledge, and he has a lot of it that he thinks it is in this life, but he has carried with him from past life, you see. From past life. He may have been a priest in Christianity or in Hinduism before, you see. So this is coming out, and whether it is right or wrong, it is right, wrong. Just leave it aside, you see. Whether it is good or bad, immaterial, don't get into it, you see. Don't get involved in it, all right? That is a very specific instruction of Dada, and now Niruma writing on page 22,
Todo esto es todo lo que traemos a la vida, este conocimiento que somos de la otra vida, que puede ser de Vedanta, jainismo, catolicismo, todo eso, creemos que es de esta vida, pero en realidad esto fue cargado en la vida pasada. Y ahora sale como correcto e incorrecto, como juntos, pero hay que dejarlo de lado y no involucrarte. Esta es la palabra de Dada y esto es lo que escribe Niruma en la página 22.
Yeah. Whether it is right or wrong, both are part of duality. You see? Huh? Right or wrong, right, wrong, both are duality. And we, Dadashri says, when we are beyond duality.
Yes. Lo correcto e incorrecto, todo junto, es parte de la dualidad y nosotros con mayúscula estamos más allá de toda dualidad.
And there is a Gujarati word for it, dvandatit. We have become beyond dvandatit, you see? You know, in other words, beyond the right or wrong, good or bad, you see? Good action, bad action, etc. We are pure knowers of this, you see?
Correcto e incorrecto es parte de la dualidad y nosotros estamos más allá de toda la dualidad. Y hay una palabra que es duendati, que es más allá de lo correcto e incorrecto, de lo bueno y de lo malo.
Yes. Understand? This is, does anybody want to say anything about it? This is very fundamental instructions. This is not an order. This is not a commandment. This is how it is. You see, this is how it is in the eyes of Dada and in the eyes of the awakened ones of this universe. You see, regardless of whether they are from the Christian world or the Hindu world, etc. See?
Esto no es una orden o un mandamiento, esto es como es a los ojos de Dada.
Shuddha, I have a question.
Yes, Graham.
I was thinking about what you were saying, and it came to mind in some of the readings, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, that I said that there was real religion and there was relative religion. And that fundamentally, in a nutshell, real religion was just about who am I?
And much more, but yes, yes.
So basically, that's the fundamental. And the way that I sort of understand it then is that the core part of Akram Vignan is the five agnas. That's the critical practice. But also I can see there seems to be a heavy leaning within the teachings on one of the relative religions, which is Jainism. So it seems like a lot of the cosmology, a lot of the kind of some elements have been extracted from Jainism, not from Vedanta, not from Christianity. But Dada said that Jainism was one of the relative religions.
One of the?
Also, relative religion.
Yes.
Jain was a relative religion.
Yes.
Not a real religion. And yet there seems to be lots of elements of Jainism in these teachings. So should they be disregarded as well in the same way, put to one side, like you just described?
Yes. Sorry, go on now. Can you please speak in Spanish what you just said for the group? Yeah.
¿Quieres traducir, Patricia?
Please, you translate, Graham.
Okay. Te estaba preguntando que Dada decía que hay dos tipos de religión. Hay la religión real y la religión relativo. Entonces yo pensaba que como la parte central de la religión real son los cinco agnas. Y específicamente, ¿quién soy yo? Eso es la investigación. Pero yo veo también que dentro de Akram Vignan hay muchos elementos que vienen del Jainism. Y entonces Dada dijo que el cristianismo, los hindús, todo lo demás es relativo. Y estoy preguntando si esos elementos que son del Jainism también lo podemos poner a un lado, que no son importantes, que no son necesarios. Lo importante es enfocarse solo en los cinco agnas.
Gracias.
Vale.
Yeah. It may, from all, from the viewpoints of all critical students who have come into Akram Vignan, all the disciples who have come into Akram Vignan, as you know, disciples like you, and many others, it may appear so, it seems so, and that is because there are these traditional scriptures that have their own terminology. You see, so yes, it may feel as if a lot of Jainism, or what is in the Jain scriptures, has been adopted or taken into the science that Dadashri is offering us. Go on. Translate this.
Todos los discípulos que han venido a la Akram Vignan traen, traen lo que han aprendido, ¿no? Y sus escrituras, y cada escritura tiene su propia terminología. Y parece que el jainismo fue adoptado por esta cuestión de la terminología o de las palabras.
Mm-hmm. But however, it is important to know that it is not only, the scriptures of Jainism, but also of Vedanta and Upanishads, especially Upanishads, that have also a lot of resonance with whatever dear Dada is saying, you see, especially in matters of the I, the real parts, you see. And so in fact, the scriptures are the original source, the original truths laid out in books, but the real scripture existed in the heart of the enlightened ones, you see, and they are all gone, the last one being Lord Mahavir, you see. And so the real scriptures and all the current scriptures were beautifully studied. Available scriptures were beautifully studied by Srimad Rajchandra, the Gnani Purush, who was there between 1867 and 1902, you see, in Gujarat. He was he was a Gnani, but a Gnani striving to go make a meaning out of this step by step path, you see. And he dissected all the scriptures. He came to the bottom of the Vedantic, the Hindu. He studied all the scriptures, including the Western scriptures. And he also then gravitated to the words of Lord Mahavir and some of the scriptures where he says the exactness of and the final nature of the soul has been described is with such beauty and with such experiential words that it does not exist anywhere else, you see. So scriptures have the content, but they do not have life in it. Sorry, I'm speaking long gone.
Okay. Yes. Lo más importante que Dada dice es que trae del Jainismo Upanishad, de los Vedantas, es la parte del yo, del yo. Y esto están en las escrituras como en fuente, son la fuente original, pero realmente esto en estas escrituras estaba en el corazón de los seres iluminados, que estos seres iluminados ya partieron. El último fue Lord Mahavir. Y Sri Ramachandra, que estuvo con Dada, era un Gnani que había hecho el camino de paso a paso, ¿no? Y había estudiado todas las escrituras. Pero las escrituras tienen un contenido, pero no tienen vida. Y creo que dijo algo de la experiencia de Dada, ¿no? Que es la mayor experiencia del alma pura. Did you say that Sri Ramachandra said that Rajchandra said that the
highest darshan is
experience of the real self.
Yes, highest darshan is in the heart of the awakened one, and that awakening, that awakened one has gone beyond it. The awakened one, the awakening one is the one who is in the experience of the reality or of the self, you see. And the one who has known the self, by the way, this sentence is Srimad Rajchandra's. He says, the one who has known the self has known everything. So, in one sentence, he puts aside all the scriptures and all the study of the scriptures. And ism, wherever the word ism is nothing but studying of the words that are there in the scripture through the intellect, you see, and the ego, you see. And then there will be Jain scholars, Hindu scholars, Catholic scholars, Christian scholars. All of the scholars continue, and they continue to have a lot of weight on their head. They have got nothing in their heart with reference to the experience of what they're speaking about, you see. They can speak all day long from, on the soul or on all of these things. It hasn't connected. It hasn't connected. They are to their own reality. They believe I am Graham, I'm Professor so-and-so, I know, you see. And that is the biggest barrier towards entering into the self, that is the knower of everything that is happening.
I mean, I have no problem in putting all is down.
Please, Lev, sorry. And then you,
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
let you.
Please.
Sorry. Dice, Shuddha dice que el más elevado darshan del despierto es la experiencia de lo real y del ser. Y quien conoció el ser conoce absolutamente todo y deja todo de lado. Y que todas las religiones tienen que ver con el ego y con el intelecto. Y es mucho peso en la cabeza. Pueden estar hablando todo el día de eso, pero no conectan. Y en realidad no soy Green, es entrar en el ser. Yes, Green, please continue.
Yeah, so yes. Yeah.
So, in principle, I don't have any problem in putting all of the scriptures to one side. From my own feeling is what's important is experience. And that comes through doing the 5 agnos, the vision, seeing for oneself, not adopting a set of beliefs. But what I'm asking here is there seems to be a favoritism in terms of scriptures towards the Jain religion. And then that's taken as real religion, whereas Dada in another part has said, no, that is also relative. And these relative parts then, they should be put to one side as well, just for the sake of being consistent.
I totally agree.
Please, let him translate. Sorry. Please, Green.
Sí, estaba diciendo que yo no tengo problema en dejar todas las escrituras a un lado, que lo que es importante para mí es experimentar, es tener visión, darshan de la realidad. Y yo solo estoy hablando que no hay consistencia si una parte de las religiones relativos está dando como más más realidad, ¿no? Que es la religión Jain, porque hay muchos elementos que están como han sido absorbidos dentro del Akram Vignan.
Thank you.
Yes. This is you're right. If you read Dada and his Aptavanis in totality, especially Aptavani 2, he has made it abundantly clear that this Akram Vignan is a totally different path than any paths that have been followed through religions over centuries. You see, a lot of his words, which were very harsh and in opposition to the practices of Jainism by the traditional Jains, even the current ones, Dadashri's words were very severe and harsh. It was like Lord Jesus in the temple, and very, very harsh. And he was thrashing those people, not sparing anyone for really having gone on the wrong path. You see, they call themselves followers of Lord Mahavir, but they have forgotten the fundamental beauty of his words with reference to it's with beauty of his words with reference to the universality, universal acceptance of everything that is, you see, anekantvad, and the total, acceptance of all viewpoints. The words are ahimsa paramodam, non-violence is the supreme religion, etc. All of those are very, very beautiful words, but they remain at the level of the words. And that is why Dadashri was trying to awaken them, to get out of this, your ritualistic, non-flexible, inflexible adherences to your ways and your sense of smugness and superiority that you guys cannot even visit a Hindu temple, etc. But anyway, leaving that aside, he says this all. He says it for the heavy-duty Vaishnav Krishna followers too. So it's, he was equal in his treatment, but he saw that these two Pudgals, the Jain Pudgal and the Vaishnava Pudgals, were very hard nuts to crack, you see. Very, very hard. And they become hardened, And here he is coming as a messenger, as a deliverer of the entire humanity in Kali Yuga, where it is impossible to get out of this bondage. See? So he has called it relative, just like you are saying, and this is exactly what he's saying in the satsang that led up to this. Look at it as Gnani and put it aside. And if you are too involved in trying to studying it, that's your file. That is your inner stock that makes you want to go there, you see. But yeah, go on, sorry, and then we will continue.
Yes, yes, yes. Dice que si tú lees todo, si tú lees, conoces todas las palabras de Dada y lees todos sus Aptavanis, especialmente el número 2, Dada lo hizo con tanta claridad que es un camino totalmente diferente a cualquier religión a través de los siglos. Dada era como duro, estricto, como lo fue Jesús en el templo. Y la belleza de sus palabras era es para revertir, es la aceptación universal de todos los puntos de vista y permanecer, y no como las escrituras que solo permanecen a nivel palabras. Permanecen a nivel palabras, te dan rituales que son flexibles, inflexibles, lo que puedes hacer, lo que no puedes hacer. Él era estricto y había cosas, y él decía que los Krishnas y Jainistas también tenían un Pudgal dura, pero Dada da un mensaje que le da al mundo da el mensaje de la liberación, se lo da al mundo y se lo da en este momento de Kali Yuga para poder encontrar la liberación. Y muestra esto, lo relativo, ¿no? Y lo relativo es que mires a Gnei y que lo dejes de lado y que sepas que es tu archivo el que quiere volver a eso y viene de la vida pasada.
Mm-hmm. The word Jain, was coined 400 years after the passage of Lord Mahavir. So and so when nothing is available, human beings try to latch on to something very amazing and try to claim it as theirs, you see, but they do not know the real message, that they do not know the way. And yes, up until Dadashri, Graham, up until the revelations by Dada, it was all the standard path, was it not? You try to be good, try not to hurt anyone, do not tell a lie, do not steal, thou shalt not do this and thou shalt not do that. The common thread within all is that it only kind of keeps you going in the cause and effect relationships only. Very rare is the one who says, wait a minute, let's hold it now. Who are you? What do you really want? And how can you get it in 2023, you see? And he made it very simple, you see. Yes, he had to deal with a lot of people in India from all walks of life. Scholars of scholars, professors and professors, all kinds of people who had gone through very severe austerities and penance and spiritual practices who met him from all over India. He broke, he had to break that barrier. And then, while at the same time preserving what had just begun within this few thousands to whom he had liberated, you see. You can imagine a world of Dada where he was bombarded by very, very powerful Jain priests as well as Jain lay followers who were very rich, you see, in Bombay and Ahmedabad, etc. See, they outrightly rejected Dada. They used to laugh at him. And many of the very same people are now regretting and taking the Gnan Vidhi, you see. So they're waking up, you see. The intellect is a very big enemy of human beings when it comes to liberation, you see.
En el jainismo, las escrituras se escribieron 400 años después de que Lord Mahavir partió. Entonces, las personas que tuvieron esas escrituras la reclaman, pero no conocen el mensaje. Entonces, hasta que aparece Dada, y hay momentos donde aparece Dada y dice que quién eres tú, cómo quieres conseguir esto, cómo quieres vivir en el 2023, cómo la causa y efecto en las relaciones. Entonces él tuvo que lidiar con toda esta clase de situaciones, ¿no? que venían de las religiones, de las escrituras, las penitencias, las prácticas, y tuvo que romper todas esas barreras. Entonces cientos fueron liberados, y muchos ricos y jainistas lo amaban y tomaron el Gnan Vidhi.
Mm-hmm. You see, the thing is, you and I, Graham, are marveling at the beauty of what is happening within us and around us. This, from a group of 10, 12 people around Dada in the 70s, we see now thousands and thousands, 15,000 people sitting, 10 days in a row, 5 days total, gathering, listening in pin drop silence. What are they listening to? They're listening to the Gnani and reading the words, but what is really happening there? What's happening is what's happening to you and I inside. It cannot be put into words, you see. It is the experience, is the subtle experience of the self that is distinctly separate from anything else that is happening in the relative world, you see. The relative is entirely kept aside in exactness, you see, and any efforts to really kind of tease the words, whether they are in Jain scriptures or in Vedanta, in Upanishadic scripture words, admittedly more in Jain scriptures, and these are only only so that it gets adjusted to the view of the enlightened one, our view. Well, how does those words make a difference, you see, in our view, in our experience, not taking from here or there. There are many of these words do not exist in any scriptures. The Dada's words, you see, in exactness, like he has described, in volumes like Vyavasthit, etc. See, yeah, go on, please.
Yes. En los tú y yo nos maravillamos con todo, le dice a Green Shuddha, nos maravillamos con todo esto que está sucediendo. En los 70, por ahí había 10 o 15 personas que estaban tomando el nano, que se acercaban ahí, pero ahora vemos que cientos y miles escuchan al nani. Pero es lo que sucede, que están todos sentados ahí escuchando al nani, pero lo importante, lo relevante de eso no es que solo lo están escuchando, sino es lo que sucede, la experiencia sutil de la experiencia del ser que está sucediendo, y entonces lo relativo es como apartado. Los jainistas y los Upanishads solo pueden hacer diferencias, pero nosotros podemos tener la experiencia. Y, y nosotros podemos podemos escuchar y conocer las palabras de Dada que no están en ningún otro lado.
Yeah, and the other thing which is very amazing is, yes, the 6 eternal elements, the elemental vision of described in Jain scriptures is different from the elemental vision, different only in terms of terminology. In the Upanishads, you see, the 5 eternal elements plus I, whereas here we say the 6 eternal elements, and I am the 6th element. I am the 6th element. The other 5 are separate from me, are in front of me, you see. The description is one thing and the experience is the other thing. In the Akram Vignan, we have been lifted up directly into the experience of the I, which happens much, much later in the traditional paths of liberation, whether it is on the Hindu path or in the Jain path, you see. And it doesn't apply to other religions of the world because they believe in a higher authority as a creator of this world. And so it doesn't apply. It is limited vision there, you see. Yeah, so this Akram Vignan stands alone, very exclusive. And you're right, absolutely right in everything that you're saying. But I'm just kind of shedding more light onto it. It is much, much more than anything that Jainism can offer us or Jain scriptures can offer us. It is our own reality and the experience of our own self, you see, that it does not exist in any scriptures, and the isms follow the scriptures, whereas the awakened one is beyond any following. Awakened one comes into the vision of the agnas, you see. The vision of the agnas. You said do the agnas, correct. It's initially you have to do the agnas, and then later on the agnas becomes the vision, you see.
Yes. En las escrituras están, los jainistas habla de los 6 elementos eternos, ¿no? Y de la visión y describen, los Upanishads también, pero en la palabra de Dada, en el Akram Vignan, son 5 elementos eternos y yo. y el verdadero ser, que soy el sexto elemento, que estoy absolutamente separado de todo lo que está frente de mí. El Akram Vignan nos eleva a la experiencia del ser inmediatamente. Y las religiones, siguiendo las religiones o las escrituras, todo esto lleva demasiado tiempo. Y no, a ver, ¿qué puse? Y el Akram Vignan es exclusivo y es correcto, como vos decís, Grim. El Akram Vignan es mucho más que el jainismo, es la experiencia del ser y no existen otras escrituras donde lo consciente es la visión de las 5 agnas. Y primero sí tienes que hacer las 5 agnas y luego es la visión de las 5 agnas.
Yeah, so this, absolutely. See this, and one more, sorry, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, perfect.
One more thing that is there is, one classic example is, I will tell you for sure that if you approach any of the thousands and thousands, hundreds, any of the 100,000 Jains in India and ask them to give you the understanding, exact meaning of the first part of the 3 mantra, the Namakar mantra, you see, Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, they will not be able to give you the exact meaning of it, you see. And when they say Arihantanam, Namo Arihantanam, they worship Lord Mahavir, you see, who is now in the Siddha state, who doesn't have a body anymore. And, they really do not know. So, the whole thing is going on the wrong track, you see. It's scientific. It is scientific to worship the one who's living somewhere, so that he can receive your signals and you can communicate. But you cannot communicate with one who is not existent in our universe anymore, you see. So, this is not Jainism. No, this is pure Dada and his Akram Vignan, you see. In fact, if they built many temples and they continue to build many of in India, the Jains of Lord Mahavir as well as Lord Parshanath and the previous Tirthankars only.
Dice, un ejemplo clásico es que hay miles y miles de jainistas, hay miles y miles de personas que tienen el exacto entendimiento, por ejemplo, del Trimantra. Si tú le preguntas a un jainista, Namo Vitaraga, Namo Siddhanam, conocen las palabras, pero no te pueden dar el significado. Pero cuando dice Arihantanam, sí, entonces saben que es Lord Mahavir. Entonces todo ese conocimiento va por un camino equivocado. Solamente el que está vivo puede conectar contigo, puede conectar con tus palabras, Dada puede, pero ya los que los titankars ya no pueden conectar contigo. Es a través de Dada y de la Akram Vignan que puedes hacer la conexión.
99% of them will say there is no moksha left for people now that Lord Mahavir has left, you see. Dadashri says, no, there is a way. And he has created that way, you see. And he's not the only one. The previous Gnani also talked about it. Srimad Rajchandra, other Gnanis have spoken about it. About Lord Simandar. So this is the very narrow path that Dada is opening up for moksha for all of us. But right now, first and foremost, he wants us to experience the Amapura. He says, forget about all of this other stuff. From the 5 agnas, he says, forget about everything else right now. Focus on this, and then it will, then eventually, the vision will increase as it is, and you will be able to see. Until your vision opens up, your awareness opens up, this is enough right now, you see. So he only gives what is in our capacity, you see.
Yes. Por ejemplo, el 99% de los que siguen al Lord Mahavir dicen que es imposible conseguir el moksha ahora, pero Dada sí dice que se puede, incluso hay nanis anteriores que también lo decían, y hablaban de Simandar. Entonces Dada abre este angosto camino para la liberación y te dice que te olvides de todo, que te enfoques. Eventualmente la visión se abrirá y tendrás la conciencia. Y por ahora esto es suficiente.
Well, thank you for your answer, Shuddha. I appreciate it. That's helpful. Mainly, I think also because I feel that our views are really aligned. I think you're not in any disagreement with what I said.
I'm totally.
Probably know me by now that I'm a bit of a purist. I'm interested in the core part of the teaching that works, that brings about liberation, not in peripheral beliefs that are around it.
Yeah, well, that's exactly, that has been negated and rejected by Dada in one sentence by saying, these guys are all tops, T-O-P-S. They, it is the Prakriti that makes them dance, and they say, I am dancing. I mean, and the rituals, and they will do it, and you will run into all of these people who adhere very strongly to their views, and where are you going, and yet continue with kashais, and it is just, he Dada didn't have time. He spent a lot of time. Niruma has kind of covered it all up a lot. Those hard words of Dada, the very strong words of Dada in the initial years between 62 to 72, those have been covered up, a lot of that words. I have read them, and then she kind of made them soft, and then our current Gnani has even made it even more softer. His background, by the way, is Jainism. He's a Jain by birth. Our current Gnani. Niruma and Dada were not. Anyway, so that's how it is. The amazing thing is, it's a very huge, phenomenal experiment that is happening in front of us. Well, the biggest one being inside, which we are discussing here in this satsang series, but also, in India, a land of millions and millions, more and more 3 mandirs are being constructed, Come together first, don't fight first. Stop fighting about your religion and come together so that we can even, we can think of something higher. Otherwise, it's impossible, you see. So that's what's happening there. And in the meantime, the Gnanis Gnanis of Akram Vignan continue to give their everything to the world, focusing centrally on the beauty of what the self is, and yet you cannot go away from the relative part. You have to give it the due respect when it arises in front of you as a file, but otherwise, just call it relative and be done with it, you see. Yes, you're one of the lucky ones who doesn't have to face a lot of the giants. You know, so, but you know, they're good souls. They have good intentions. They just are very heavily kind of, what's the word? A very heavy shell that even the Gnani Purush cannot break, you see. So Vedanta calls them well-burnt bricks, well-burnt bricks. They're bricks that are not useless now. You cannot use them to build anything. Oh, so overburnt bricks, not well-burnt, just right, but overburnt bricks, you see.
Yes. Por eso fue dado, por esto dada, como que todos los tiempos, a ver, sorry. Todo eso fue hace mucho tiempo, todos los tiempos, y las personas como que están, dice como que las personas que no encontraron este camino es como que son trompos que están bailando, ¿no? Y tienen como fuertes puntos de vista y siguen con los kashais. Niruma, Tada era como muy duro en su palabra con los jainistas, y Niruma entre el 62 y el 72 tomó todas sus palabras y las suavizó, y el actual Gnani, que también viene de una familia jainista, lo suavizó todavía más. Pero lo magnífico, lo fenomenal de esta experiencia, que es estar dentro del satsang, ¿no? Y en India, por ejemplo, se construyeron 3 trimandirs. Entonces, el Nani dice, ¿no? Peleen, vengan juntos, que eso va a permitir que estemos unidos y que suceda todo mejor. El Nani dice, está centrado en la belleza del ser y no puede, y todo lo que venga en lo relativo, hay que tratarlo como un file y se va a liberar por sí mismo. No tienes que, y le dice, bueno, tú eres a Grimm un como que tiene buena suerte, que no tiene que estar enfrentando a los jainistas, ¿no? Y puede, porque a veces tienen como una protección tan fuerte, como hechos de ladrillos, muy fuertes, muy fuertes, e imposible quebrarlos para que puedan entrar.
Yes, thank you, dear Graham. We will, you know, it's a lot of intellectuals and upper class Jains who are educated feel as if Dada has stolen something that is theirs, you see. Yeah, but you know, it's how can you really tell them about all of these discussions that you and I have had? It's not. They are totally close to it, you see, you know.
Los jainistas dicen que Dada les robó algo que les pertenecía. Entonces, ¿cómo les dices sobre esto que estuvimos hablando?
Okay, so right, so let us take a break, and
Okay.
And then
10
we will come
minutes.
10 minutes, and then we'll come back with the next heading. Okay.
Ok, vamos a tomar 10 minutos de recreo y después volvemos con el próximo título. Thank you, Shuddha.
And
Thank you.
thank you, Marcella and Gabi,
Yeah.
and yes, and so come back. Okay. Shall we continue?
Continuamos. Yes.
Okay. All right. So the next heading is that which gets filled will empty for sure, will it not? I mean, in other words, that which has Puran is to fill, will empty for sure, will it not?
El próximo título es lo que se llenó se vaciará. ¿No es así? Y Puran es llenar.
Now, this is a very interesting sentence that I'm coming through, Dada. Next, Dada, it's if the entire paragraph there is of Dada only, okay? And Dada says, there's no questioner in this heading. Dada says, Kashai speaks. What is the problem with that? Okay.
Este párrafo es solo la palabra de Dada, no hay ninguna pregunta. Y Dada dice que los Kashais hablan. ¿Cuál es el problema con eso?
So this is so phenomenal, this first sentence. You and I now begin to understand it, you see.
Esto está maravilloso y recién ahora comenzamos a entenderlo.
A human being comes in front of you and he utters a sentence that is very hurtful or a curse. He curses you, okay? The old vision was, he is doing it, he just cursed me, you see. Now, Dadashri says, it is the Kashai that is speaking. It was, and that which was filled that which was filled is going to empty for sure. So two magnificent views given to us, right? It's the Kashai that is speaking, and it was filled and is emptying now. What's the problem?
Por ejemplo, un ser humano viene frente a ti, te dice cosas feas o te maldice. Entonces, en la visión antigua es, esta persona me insultó y me maldijo. Y Dada dice, es el Kashai que está hablando. Lo que se llenó se vaciará seguramente. ¿Cuál es el problema?
You see, this, we have gone through parayans in which totally by now we know there is this peripheral body complex, you see. The body eats, sleeps, drinks, goes to bed, etc. There is the Amapura, and then there is the middle one. Who believes I am this body, you see, and therefore there is all this kashais associated with that belief. And it's this kashais, the middle one in ignorance is speaking. The ignorance belongs to the middle one, not to you, to the Amapura, you see.
En este parayam estuvimos viendo que por un lado está el complejo del cuerpo, que come, duerme, habla, y del otro lado está el alma pura, y en el medio está el que cree que soy este cuerpo, con los kashais y con la ignorancia que habla.
And Dadashri says, will it ever refrain from emptying? And only when it comes out, that it can discharge, right? Otherwise it remains filled inside. It has to discharge, you see.
En la medida que, Dada dice, la medida que descarga se va a vaciar, si no, va a estar, no va a descargar.
Yeah, it has to come out to discharge, no?
Tiene que salir para poder descargar.
You see? What if it doesn't come out? What if it doesn't come out? Then it will, if it doesn't come out now, it will come out later, but it's going to come out sooner or later, is it not? Sorry, go on.
Yes. Dice Dada, que tiene que salir para descargar. ¿Y qué pasa si no sale ahora? Y saldrá después, pero tiene que descargar.
Now it will come out later, but it's going to come out. It will express later, right? So, well, this is the nature. The whole focus of this particular paragraph, my friends, is on the filled stock, you see.
Este párrafo entero es del el stock llenado. Entonces dice, ¿qué pasa si no sale ahora? Tendrá que salir luego, tarde o temprano tendrá que expresarse.
Dadashri says that these kashais that are filled in the last life, anger, pride, deceit, and greed, are such that they have the capacity to eat the Amapura, completely eat the Amapura. Ama. So not Pura, it can eat the Ama. To eat the Ama means the Ama is suppressed, completely covered up. See?
Yes. Que dice Dada, estos kashais que fueron cargados en la vida pasada tienen la capacidad de comerse el alma pura, de suprimirla, de cubrirla.
It can eat the Ama completely. And that is what happening to the people of the world. They get lost. Their entire life goes in this belief of severe suffering. I am suffering. I'm nobody. I'm useless. I'm old. My brain is not working, etc., etc. He said, the Ama has been eaten completely.
Cuando el alma pura es suprimida, entonces estas personas se pierden y así están estas personas pensando que son inútiles, que son viejas, que su mente no funciona bien y su alma fue suprimida completamente.
So Dadashi says, so this discharge, now Dada calls them discharge kashais. You see, in other words, kashais that are happening in discharge. They have to come out, do they not? And so if they come out, it's good. If they come out, then the problem is solved. Let them come out so that they clear away, you see.
Dada dice que estos son los kashais de descarga, ¿no? Y a veces son crudos, fuertes, pero una vez que salen ya se van.
Good. He says, she says it's good that they come out, you see.
Por eso Dada dice que es bueno que salgan.
And once they come out, the resolution comes. It is like garbage in the engine, you see. The engine doesn't run smoothly because, there's a lot of junk in the engine that needs to be cleared out, you see. You can see it, see it polluting the roads when, such a car is running or a truck is running on the highway, you see. It's, making a lot of noise, not running smoothly, constantly exuding smoke and, pollution, you see.
Cuando la máquina no va rápido, quiere decir que tiene basura dentro. Y entonces no va a tener un movimiento suave, van a hacer un montón de ruidos y también va a tener humo contaminante.
That's the heading, you see. Let it come out. Most important, beautiful sentence today is, whose fault is it if the Kashais are speaking?
¿De quién es la falta si el Kashai habla?
Yeah, Kashais are speaking. I mean, the same person who has cursed you might come and hug you and wish you well, both, So this is how it is. Expression of Kashais, expression of Rag, Dvesh, reactions. Rag, Dvesh, not reactions, Rag, Dvesh, effect. Rag, Dvesh, effect. And Rag, Dvesh, reaction is you and I reacting to it again, saying it's happening to me, I don't like it,
Dios. Cuando los Kashais hablan, una persona puede maldecirte y después al rato puede venir o al día siguiente y abrazarte. Pero todo, y esto tiene que ver con el apego y la aversión, con los efectos del apego y la aversión. Si fueran la reacción del apego y la aversión, te estarías diciendo esto no me gusta o me gusta o lo que fuere. Pero estos son, cuando los Kashais hablan, es apego-aversión, el efecto de apego-aversión. Próximo título.
The next heading is, there the Jagruti gets veiled. The Jagruti gets a veil over it. The Jagruti gets a veil over it, you see, gets a veil over it. That's the heading.
El título es, el Jagruti tiene un velo todo alrededor que lo envuelve.
So the questioner, because now Dada is talking of, let them come out, let the Kashais come out. So then the questioner is asking, how can the discharge Kashais come out, Dada? By what method can they come out?
Entonces le preguntan cómo pueden salir o con qué motivos pueden salir los Kashais.
And Dadashri replies, if you instigate, it will come out. It's like if you put a poker in the fire, there'll be more fire like this. If you instigate, it will come out.
Entonces dice, ¿cómo pueden hacer que salgan los Kashais? Y dice, si tú instigas, saldrán.
Excuse me. So so the questioner says, if other people instigate me, they'll come out. The other she says,
si alguien me instiga, entonces van a salir los Kashais.
The other she says, anybody incites or instigate, it will come out. All you need is an instigator of the Kashais, instigator of Kashais.
Entonces lo que necesitas es un instigador de Kashais, dice Dada.
Yeah. You see, the nimit may be anyone, either you, yourself, or others. This is the people who are interacting with each other. The instigation stirs up the Kashai.
Entonces cualquier persona con la cual estemos interactuando o la gente que nos rodea puede estar instigando nuestros kashais.
Dadashri says, all you need is somebody to instigate. All you need is somebody to instigate the kashai. Somebody comes and instigates and the kashais come out, you see. So the questioner is asking, he may instigate or she may instigate, but should I not get the awareness? Should I not be aware? Or should I not get the awareness?
Solo necesitas a alguien que venga a instigarte, entonces los kashais saldrán. Entonces le pregunto, ¿y puedo instigar o debo mantenerme
Awareness, yeah.
en conciencia?
So then, so the other she says, when he suffers, then he will immediately know. As soon as the suffering arises, instigation, suffering, as soon as the suffering arises, you know. And that knowing is the awareness. You know that the suffering has arisen. Yeah, will you not know when the suffering started in this conversation with somebody? Or, will you not know when your bliss gets covered up? When your bliss gets covered up, will you not know?
Yes. Entonces dice, cuando el sufrimiento surge, tú sabes, y ese conocimiento es tu conciencia. Entonces cuando surge el sufrimiento, lo sabrás. Y lo sabrás cuando estés cubierto de dicha.
Yes. It veils self bliss. You see, this suffering that arises upon instigation. Because there is that suffering allows you to become aware, you see. And the suffering, however, if you suffer, excuse me, I'm fighting a cold, I'm just...
Está con una gripe, Shuddha, así que pide perdón.
He says, the suffering has a beginning and an end, you see. So do you not know that suffering, while the suffering was going on, your own bliss got covered up because you became the sufferer, you see. You entered into the suffering. To suffer means to lose the bliss of the self, you see. It lose means at that time the bliss gets covered up, you see.
Entonces el sufrimiento es lo que te despierta, lo que trae, lo que te despierta, lo que te crea la conciencia. Y el callar, el sufrimiento tiene un principio y tiene un fin. Y mientras que esto sucede, tu dicha es cubierta.
And this is a long paragraph, long heading with a lot of question and answers between Dada and the questioner. So we will continue this in the next satsang, my friends.
Yes.
I think most likely this Saturday, right? Patricia, probably
Yes,
see.
yes, on Saturday. Yes,
Okay,
I
so,
will write you.
Yeah,
Of
okay.
course, as
All right.
ever. Yes.
So
yes.
because this is a very long one and we can't rush it, very slowly Dada explains suffering, awareness, effect, everything in exactness. So,
Entonces este párrafo que viene es muy largo, lo vamos a continuar el sábado y va a hablar del sufrimiento, de la conciencia y de los efectos.
Okay, Shuddhatma Bhagavan. My highest namaskars to all of you.
Gracias, Shuddha.
Jai
Thank
Sachidananda.
Thank you.
Luz,
Thank you.
Patricia, Graham, Angelique, Cecilia, Herman, Gabi, Gonzalo, Devdasi, Silvina, and Maritza and Claudia. Jai Sachidananda. Okay.
Jai Sachidananda Shuddha.
Okay.
Thank you.
Se mejore, Shuddha. Vamos a cantar.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.